Good evening. Welcome everyone to our Tuesday training, August 2024. And our topic for today is very interesting. Remember the convention, and we have a wonderful introduction to this program. It says building and achieving your success plan in 90 days. Y our presenter is nobody else but the greatest Cindy Salazar, que is a young woman that an incredible networker. For me, as a great inspiration, not only for her talents, but also for her authenticity, dedication, and personality. And so, in discipline, I mean, she's a young woman, and looking how far she's going, and she's working on her own. It's amazing, making on her own. So, and she's incredible with technology too. So, open your ears, open your good attention, because today we have our greatest Cindy Salazar. So, I welcome, Cindy. Thank you for being here for us.
Oh, thank you so much, Helena. I absolutely admire and love you very much. You have such a great energy, and it definitely is something that you can transmit via the screen, which is not always easy. So thank you for welcoming me, and I can't wait to see you in California soon. So that's going to be really fun. Get ready for that.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Thank you for joining on a Tuesday night. I am kind of still getting over the fact that I just got home from like this really awesome trip. So like my mind is still like up in the space, because this last week I was reminded how like the infinite possibility that there is with our business and with this industry, which is network marketing, right? And our business for life. This company is so stable, and it has been one of the most loyal companies that has been in existence, with modern day network marketing. And let me just tell you really quickly. So we went to like our mentor's home in Georgia. And I mean, I'm a Texas girl. I love the country, right? I'm a city girl more than anything. But I think now that I've gotten older, right? I've fallen in love with like the suburbs, which I once said I would never live in. But I've also like really embraced my country identity. And we went to Georgia, and oh my goodness, that place is gorgeous. I had no idea how pretty it was. There's like forests. And anyway, the whole point is we went to his house, which is really a mansion, but it was so cozy. It was such a beautiful place. And then in the backyard, if you follow me on social media, you probably saw this, but in the backyard, there is like not only a pool, but there is a small lagoon, and then there's a forest, which is part of their property. Now, this may not be your dream, because it's not everyone's dream. Some people want a penthouse in NYC, some people want to live in the Caribbean, right? Own an apartment in each of the US Virgin Islands, and hey, all power to you. But this was so beautiful, and I thought, okay, so this is our mentor's home, and we all have our own personal mentors, etc. And you have probably seen pictures, maybe you've even gone to their houses, but it's a good reminder of the things you can achieve, right? And this is a great way to do so, because the average person doesn't have this type of opportunity. And in fact, opportunity started growing after, like within the pandemic and after, right? So one of the things about the pandemic that it did is it served as a catalyst, to push us into thinking of different ways to earn income, and especially different ways to live your life, right? So our industry has never been this important in the past for people who are trying to just kind of like live life according to their own design. Some people love the 9 to 5, and they were gonna love it, and that's wonderful. And other people are gonna be like, well, you know what? It's a good life, but I want to combine it with something else. I would love the weekend getaways, or to get away for a week with my family. And some people like me, and like some of the people in this room, are probably thinking, I don't believe in the 9 to 5, because I want to just explore, and I want to be able to work from wherever I am. So that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Is with this program, the Fast Start 90, the company has been doing so much to help us. Okay. So I don't know how many of you have been in the network marketing industry for some time, or in another company, but I think what most people encounter is, okay, so I'm new here, I'm excited, the product looks great. Now what? Right? That's where I used to get stuck. And I get it. Because it doesn't come with an instruction manual. And if you're lucky, you might have joined a team that has a good head on its shoulders. You know what I'm saying? There are some teams that are just chaotic, and there are companies that are chaotic. And that's just real life, right? So the good thing is you've landed, I believe, in a good place because the company is very level headed and they do everything they can to help you. And this is one of them, and I'll tell you why, right? Because I'm going to talk to you. If I was a brand new person today, what would I do? And this is one of them. All right. But before we get into it, I believe we're all in for life research. We're all affiliated members and we're all building a business here. I'm assuming that. Okay. So then we can do a bit of like the whole real talk with business. Here's the thing. I think us here, I've seen some of your faces before, right? And I recognize the names. So I know we've been in this maybe sometime. Not all of us. I think some of you haven't, one or two people I haven't seen before. If you're joining a network marketing company, I know someone in your upline or someone in your upline is going to give you an orientation. They're going to tell you, hey, well, first we need to do A, B, and C to get you started, right? The second thing I would look into is understanding the formation of my company, right? Now, if I was a brand new network marketer, I wouldn't even know where to start because I'm an anthropologist. I didn't have a business background. This is stuff I have learned over the years thinking, Cindy, if you were new, this is what you should have done. So that's why I'm saying this now, because it doesn't matter whether you've been here for a month or you have been here for a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years. Maybe it's time to go back and look into these things. So the last 2 weeks, the last week I spent it with some of the top earning entrepreneurs in For Life. I was surrounded by 3 golds and 2 platinums. So I absorbed a lot of their information, what they were talking about, and it changed my perspective on a few things. The week before, I was actually in New Jersey at another event with another gold, this one from Colombia, and he's an economist. And he's a very smart man. For those of you who might know him, his name is Giovanni Perotti. And the man is very insightful. Now, whether you like him or not is another thing. I think he's great. But he knows how to read numbers. And that's what I'm going to get into here. So, network marketing to me, and really any business, okay, this will help you no matter where you're at, all right? It's composed of 2 areas. One, which is the emotional aspect, which is your why, which is your motivation, where you develop discipline, and most importantly, where you develop a vision. Once a person has a vision, there is nothing that can stop them. Every now and then they may slow down, but the vision will keep you going. So no matter what you're doing, make sure that you have vision and that you're duplicating that you give vision to other people. Because in network marketing, just like any other business, just like any job you can have, there will be moments that will be difficult, right? For whatever reason, maybe you enrolled someone who would promise a lot and they didn't deliver. Maybe you didn't live up to being a good leader to someone who was a good prospect, right? There will be hard moments. That's just really real. But that vision will keep you going. That is one aspect of network marketing. I think we usually talk about that, and we don't talk enough about the second aspect, which is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so the first one's motivation, discipline, leadership, all that good stuff. The second part is the numbers part. Most people that I have talked to say, I'm not a numbers person. I'm bad at math. First of all, don't say that, okay? Don't say you're bad at anything, because you can learn. So here's the numbers part. Because once you dominate or once you understand the emotional aspect to any business, it's time to really get down to the numbers, because the numbers is how you get paid. You need to produce numbers in order to get paid. And let me tell you something. Here in a network marketing company, you have ranks. You start with builder, associate, builder elite, diamond elite, presidential elite, bronze. We used to have like what, 5 ranks? I don't remember, like 6 maybe. And now we suddenly expanded because the company wanted to reward more people. That's beautiful. Doesn't matter. Maybe this might change the way y'all think, but most people believe that the higher you rank, the better income you have. And honestly, that is semi-true, because there comes a point at a certain rank where you can optimize the comp plan so much that if you're comfortable, you actually don't have to move up. I mean, I encourage you all to keep fighting, keep moving up the ranks and get to platinum, everyone. But there will be some people who will be like, you know what, Cindy, I don't need the house in Georgia. I don't need thousands and thousands of dollars a month. That's for really ambitious people. I'm a very ambitious person, okay? I own that. But there are people who are like, you know what, I want to work hard, but I don't want to overexert myself. So what's a comfortable place to be? And this is really interesting. I was actually talking to Johnny Perotti about this. JT, I believe 7 ranks. Yeah, I don't know. I lost count of the ranks. I honestly don't pay attention to rankings as much as I do to paychecks, right? So the best rank that you can optimize the comp plan without having to fulfill as much is presidential, to be fully honest. And if you play the numbers game correctly, you can earn a good paycheck. Okay? Here's why. And I'm not saying y'all need to stay in percentage. So please aim for more. It's like if you keep, at your good rankings and keep going up, yes, you will have paycheck increases. But if you want to really optimize the comp plan and you don't want to like overachieve or something, presidential is a great plan because you're already okay. How many of you remember your first level 2%, second level 25% from 100 points, third level 5%, and then from 4th and on to infinity, you get 12%. Right? You get 12%. So you take care of your first 3 levels, keep on going, 10,000 points. You're fine, 10,000. Keep your front lines, then build down. You can optimize the comp plan like that. How many of you have caught up on that? And it's fine, like if you 12% from a multitude of people counts because that 12% stays no matter your rank. All right. Now, the more you rank up, the more volume you have. Yes, you can have more money. It really depends on your structure. And, you have to keep hitting the goal is to keep hitting your rank. Some people, what they do is they will like, oh, I just want a new rank. And then they work really hard, but they don't requalify to that rank. And that's where things get hard. Because instead of like, once you hit a certain rank, but you don't, you kind of do it by pure emotion without a strategy and without it being organic, what happens is that you miss going to the rankings and you miss on incentives, on bonuses, on so many things, right? So with presidential, you still qualify for so many bonuses. So, I mean, you can really optimize that. But the trick to this is understanding your compensation plan. All right. That's something I just kind of like threw at y'all. But you can honestly, I think few people do this. You can draw out, I have right here like this giant whiteboard, right? It's blank right now because we erased it. But if you want to, what you can do is do little bubbles or little lines, whatever you want. Put a percentage to each bubble according to the level, right? Put an amount. Okay, what strategy are you working with? Are you working with 100 LP, your customers or your leaders consuming 100 LP a month, 150 LP a month? There was a time in For Life when we used to consume 250 because we have a 250 pack that we used to endorse back then. Those are gone now. So now we have the fast start packs, right? And there's a strategy to this, and I'll tell you about it in like 5 seconds, not 5 seconds, in a couple minutes, okay? Because the whole point to this is for you to increase volume and to optimize the compensation plan. That really is why they did this. And it's very smart, actually, and it's very much worthwhile. All you have to do is make sure you develop a system so that people can move the product they're buying. All right, I'll get into that in a bit. I hope I'm not losing anyone because I'm not usually this technical. I'm usually very like more emotional and social media, but it's very important to go into the compensation plan, right? Because well, people need to get paid. All right, you need to get paid. So really, all you have to do is, I don't know how many, start with your core rank. So your core rank is the one rank that is the most important when you're building a structure. Okay, core rank in For Life would be diamond. Okay, a platinum is built by creating diamonds. You build from the bottom up. All right, if you can create diamonds and just create diamonds, and duplicate that, guess what? If I was a diamond and I knew how to create diamonds, I would rank up to presidential. And if I taught my people how to create diamonds, I would rank up to bronze. And if those people taught their people to create diamonds, that's all they need to know. I don't need some elaborate strategy about, oh my God, I need some random crazy strategy to, I don't know. People come up with really complicated plans is what I've seen. And all you really need to know is, hey, how do I create a diamond? 3,000.6 front lines. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Stay with the simple things. Duplicate, 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 and that's how you rank up, right? Of course, it's not as easy as it sounds, but the strategy is simple. That's what you have to do. So I hope this is based on my own observations, my own results, and the conversations I've had with high-ranking people and people who optimize how much they earn, right, in For Life research. And it's very interesting the takes they have on this. And I mean, I'm not just talking about going to their trainings. I'm talking about I've spent time with them for the last couple of weeks, and it's really like changed my perception of a couple of things and clarified a lot of what I thought to be true. So this is really just a numbers game. I would advise all of you to say, okay, this is how much money I want to earn in a month. I'm going to draw out my bubbles. I'm going to say, let's say it's 6 frontline. How many points do I want them to consume? Because For Life works, of course, as a direct sales, but also as a company of like out of consumption. So if the people below you end up not doing sales, that's fine, so long as they're consuming for themselves. Now, if they're doing sales, it's just going to double your volume. That's great, you know? Good. The company pays you on that, okay? But if they're just consuming for themselves, let's say it's 100 points a month, if that's what you're aiming for, so they can be active. Okay, so I would draw little circles, right? Now put 100, 100, 100, 100. Now 100, 2% for each is $2 each. 6 times 2 is $12. If I have 6 friend lines, just doing 100 points each, I would get paid $12. Now let's say, now I'm going to draw out my own structure. Underneath them, I want them to do 3 people each with 100 points, because that's going to give me the builder bonus, right? That's going to help them get the builder bonus. I'm going to capitalize on all the bonuses. So not only would I earn 25% from each of their 100 points, how much would be, okay, 6 times 3 is how much? 18? 18 times 25. How much is that? $450. $450 a month for having 18 people on your second level doing 100 points, the bare minimum. Does that sound okay? Does $450 to begin with sound okay? I would think so, because a lot of people like don't think about that, right? They're so busy planning out things up in the air instead of going into the comp plan to optimize. Now imagine if you had 18 people doing 400 points each, that's $100, 18 times 100, $1,800. You see how you can potentialize, like optimize even your second level? Like your second level is so important. It's 25% of the first 100 points. That's pretty good. Even $450 just from having a second level is a big deal, right? Now, I just said a whole bunch of really technical things. If someone has a question, please ask. I'm here to answer. No question is too elemental. There's no dumb questions or anything. This is all stuff I learned over the years. The best thing you're doing here is just gaining, like listening to people who've been here for a while, who actually learned the comp plan and actually work it to get their goals. Okay, let's be really honest. That's why some people sit in certain ranks for a long time, because they earn a good amount of money there. Okay, you can be a bronze, you can be a gold. Some people decided to stay at gold. They don't want to rank up to platinum because it wouldn't be organic. So they go on trips every single year. They earn all these President's Club bonuses, and they refuse to rank up because they know it's not going to be organic yet. So if it's not organic, they'll lose out on a couple of things. I'm being really real with y'all here, okay? Some people choose not to rank up, but they earn really good paychecks, right? Some people get caught up in the ego of a ranking instead of thinking, how much am I going to earn here? To be really honest. All right. Okay. Questions? Everyone's okay? Okay. Now, I said that to be really real with y'all because you are developing a business, and I really, other than the emotional aspect, I really want y'all to go into the comp plan, and all you really have to do is place people within your little bubbles, right? If you want to earn $500, some people want just some money to pay for their car note or something. Okay, then 18 people on your second level. There you go. Consuming 100 points each, right? Now you can add more, whatever you want, right? If they don't have 18 people, but some people go down, you can actually, this is something I learned from my mom. She'll sometimes, like, you should see her work because she's really good at this. I mean, she's a platinum for a reason. But she'll draw up her little bubbles, those little like trees with bubbles. She'll be like, okay, if this happens here and this happens here, and this person's not qualifying because they called me and they didn't want to work, this is gonna go up. And she'll put in literally like people in little bubbles and be like, okay, that means that I'll still get paid that amount of money. I'm good. She'll work that line. When people are like, I just don't know what line to work. Well, go into your numbers, literally do a data dive. When I was a teacher, they made us do data dives, and I hated them. Like, I hated data dives because they're so boring. I would have to go into like the students' like numbers and their test results, and it was so annoying. But I was studying the results. And then guess what? I knew where they were failing. I knew where to help and where to work. Some people work blindly. I have leaders who develop this great line, and then I'm like, great, go somewhere else. This person needs help. They're like, no, I want to stay over here. I'm like, yeah, but your paycheck is over here. What are you doing? In fact, you're going down. So that's something really important. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Do you place people on your second level? I don't place people. I personally don't believe in placing people, because what has happened, people get used to you doing the work for them, right? And once that happens, they get used to it and never do it again. It happens. That is like one of those cardinal sins. Not a cardinal sin, but it's one of those things that happens a lot with people. It's like, oh, I'm going to give you this person so you can work them. Guess what? They're not going to work them, and they're going to expect you to keep putting people underneath them. What I would do is identify, here's part of network marketing. You identify what people are wanting to do the business, and you work with them. So this is where strategy comes in. This is where this comes in. You have to have some sort of system to work with new people. You have to be like, okay, so if you really want to do this, like I just got off a call with a lady the other day, like yesterday, and she's ready to run, right? So I know, she told me exactly, this is one of those rare people who tells you exactly what they want. You're like, perfect. Let me plot these people. Let me plot like the strategy for you, and I'm going to teach you how to invite people, and we're going to do meetings. I'm going to help you by showing you how to do meetings, by showing you what the product is, by showing you exactly what how to recommend product, like sha-la-la-la, all that good stuff. I'm going to teach you the abilities, right? And you're going to do that with your people. Like, I know exactly what she wants to do, so you have to have a plan. Yes, you have to have a plan. So if anything, I would just help people learn how to prospect and bring in clients and bring in leaders. If someone doesn't want to do that, I would find another person. That's what we're constantly prospecting, because not everyone you bring in is going to want to do the business, right? So make sure you're constantly talking to new people. That is the whole thing. This is where constantly prospecting, constantly doing all that stuff. Eventually, you're going to reach a sort of stability, but it's always good to bring new people in, fresh blood. Like the way to always to keep your network growing is by bringing new people in, right? Because people will leave for a reason, for any reason, and that's very fair. Some people will be stagnant, and some people want to grow. That's just the realities of the business. Okay. All right. So why is this book so good? All right. Now, I don't know how many of you have done a deep dive into this little book, but it honestly is a great guide. If I knew nothing about network marketing, if I knew nothing about where to begin, this is a book I would look into. I was very surprised when they compiled this because it borrows from different philosophies across the teams in For Life. For those of you who are new here, For Life is comprised of many leaders, obviously. And the heads of those groups are, for example, Dave Daughtry is one of those, the biggest leaders here. You have Herminio Nevares, who is from under Dave Daughtry, but he has his own philosophy, right? You have Jeff Algivers, and then you have other people who I cannot remember right now. Sorry to whoever's out there. But they're big leaders, right? And they each have their own strategies and philosophies around the business. And what I thought was really cool is that this little book literally got all their philosophies together of all, because these are people with a lot of results, and put them together in this little book to like help the brand new person, right? And this is obviously available with your fast start. So the reason why this was created, your fast start, was specifically to get you started faster, right? So when you buy the package, I'm not gonna go into specifics, but you are given certain what's it called, privileges for a year. Basically, when you rank up, you get a bonus. Okay. You actually can earn so many bonuses with this just by doing the work you're supposed to be doing, if that makes sense. If you don't start with a fast start, you can advance, right, at whatever gradual pace you would like, but you would be missing out on a lot of potential bonuses. So to be really honest, this is a package, I would say package, I don't know why. This is something that I would recommend people who are like, hey, I want to do this business. Perfect. If you want to do this business, if your business minded, get this, because we're going to work with you. We're going to rank you up. We're going to like get you to core rank, get people to core rank, get people to diamond, and show them how to create diamonds. And then they will get what? 3-4 times as much as it would have earned without this. Okay. That's the whole point of this. And this little book tells the new person exactly what they need to be doing. This did not exist, not even 5 years ago. Okay. So if you have been here for less than 5 years, this little book answers all the questions as to, hey, I'm new here. What do I do? So literally it starts with talking about For Life. It starts with a message and then the transfer factor experience. It tells you about the most important product in the company. And then from there, you can do your own research into the other products. I would recommend you become like an expert in one area. I know some people who are like, I met up with a friend this weekend, and geez, she knows so much about the product, right? But she's a registered nurse and her passion is nutrition. So she knows that. Me, no. But I can tell you about skincare. I can tell you about fitness and hydration. That's my thing. I'm not going to talk to you about the cardio, the coach, all that other stuff. If that's your area, become an expert. But choose an area, right? That's something I would tell you because that's what you would be recommending. And then look here. Do first. Get your For Life app. Personalize it. It talks about my shop. It talks about your loyalty program. Y'all, this is an orientation. Okay. This is exactly a system, for example, that my husband and I built in a close Facebook group for our leaders, in which whenever a new leader is brought in, there is an orientation. These are the things you have to know about the company. Think about when you're new, right? You have to think, okay, what are the things I wish people would have explained to me when I was new? And that's an orientation. Okay. This itself has an orientation for you. It tells you about the Fast Start program, so you can look at the benefits of that. Then you can go into your why, your contact list, how to invite. Their invitation scripts. videos for you to share, how to sign up, connect, and duplicate scripts. Everything is really done here. So if you're a new person, the first thing I would do, or if you still haven't gotten the hang of like, how do I start? How do I get going? The first thing I would do is do a really good deep dive into this little book, okay? Because it gives you a lot of good tools. Do a deep dive and teach your people to also do this deep dive, okay? So not only does it give you step-to-step guide, but I mean, you get like really good bonuses, like crazy good bonuses. The only thing you need to know how to do, and I invite all of you to please do this because I've seen it gone wrong, okay, is you're gonna get a great promotion of products, right? A promotional pack that's fantastic. Definitely get some to try for yourself. What are you interested in? I take the Gold and the H Pro religiously, okay? Those are amazing. I also take the energy, like take your products, choose the products you're going to consume, right? Because that's your consumption. And this is what I teach my people. Grab the ones you're going to consume for you, right? So you can also talk about the effect the product has on you. And the rest of them, if you're a generous person, you can give them away or you can give them as samples. If you're generous, I teach my people to sell them to get some money back. Okay? Don't just tell people, oh, here, buy it. And then, okay, well, that's that. Moving on. No, don't leave people with products. Like, it's not even that much product, honestly. Like, it's a good amount, but it's not something that's gonna, like, you know, take up like your entire space in your house, right? There are some companies who do that, no offense. They'll take up like an entire cabinet or like an entire garage, right? But you don't want to do that. Make sure you know, you tell your people either what is their goal. Do they want to sell the product? Are they going to consume it all? I have people who like to consume it all and have a huge family. Hey, props to them. They're very nice. But teach people to move the product. And how do you do that? By giving presentations, really. Okay, that's how you do that. Now, that's the most important thing is if you are able to talk to people to create an organization with a culture of your 400 points, you'll be pretty unstoppable. That's probably the hardest thing for some people to do. I know some people not in my network who like bring in people with like these packs like really fast. And I'm like, good for you. That's pretty amazing, right? But they have this like gift. I would focus, I bring in people with at least 150 points. That's my soft spot. That's what I like, 150 points. Now, if I see people like this lady I met last night who was like, yo, I'm a business person. I want to see cash and I'm here for cash. Then you need this pack because if not, you're going to lose out on a lot of cash. All right. That's me. Also, I always tell people about this pack. I do always tell people. However, I also give them the option of the 150, but I do highlight like if you're gonna do this running, don't miss out on your cash. If you're still thinking about it but want to be a consumer, we also have the 150 point option. Why 150 point? Because you get a free membership. Save that money on the membership. It's just get another product and it'll save you the membership, right? Okay. I'm gonna pause because I've been like talking on stuff and I need to drink some water. This is water, it's not soda, it's a Waterloo can. Okay, so don't judge me. It's 0 sugar, 0 calories. Are there any questions thus far? Okay. Am I making sense? Or does it sound like I'm rambling? Because I know I had these conversations with people and like we just rambled and rambled. Okay. Are there any questions about the compensation plan or how you can incorporate this strategy into your culture or your plan? When I talk about culture is y'all create a culture within your teams based on your strategies. So the culture could be that people come in with the 150 point packs or that people come in with their fast starts. Depending on what your perception is on business or how fast you're running, that is the culture you create. Okay, that's the energy you attract and you create the culture of y'all. We don't sign up people with less than 150 points. Watch me do it so that you can do it too. Okay, That is the culture of our team, because I want people to get the free membership. I think it's pointless to spend $30 on a membership when that could be a product, in my opinion, and you still get the free catalog. So I always encourage people for the 150 points, and I just tell them all the benefits that includes. Okay. And I always tell people about the loyalty program, because to me, right? It's kind of ridiculous that you will buy product and not get your points, like the extra redeemable points. You know what I'm saying? So that's my selling point, because I do it. And I've created a culture of people who think that the loyalty program is the best thing in the world, because it is. And that signing up people with 150 points is one of the best options that the company has. Okay. That is how you create a culture, by duplicating. All right. And it's very interesting. I don't know if you ever get to observe different teams, you'll get to pick up on their culture of their team. I met up with a friend, the same friend I told you this weekend, who's a nutritionist. She's amazing, RN. And her whole team, they showed up to a training. Their whole team had their own personalized 4Life bags with their team design, and they would save their seats, and you just saw like a sea of 4Life bags with personalized names. No one showed up without them from her team, and I was like, dang, that looks nice. I'm gonna steal that idea. I told her, she agreed. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe that's something I really want to do, because it looks really nice. It has a lot of presentation, but I digress because I talk a lot. Are there any questions? Helena, go ahead.
Do you think one of the key strategies for a networker is to build your first downline as many you want, and then from then on start building your second brand, and then identify what is their really identify leaders, and then start working with them so that you can now be out of the compliance of having so many on the first line. And do you think that's one basic thing that we have to get?
So something I highly encourage people to do is work on your front line. This is what happens. When people bring in, let's say I brought in Sophia. And Sophia's like, oh, I'm gonna bring in my son, Brian. Brian's gonna join, and I want Brian to earn some money, and I want him to get excited. So I'm gonna put people under Brian, right? That I always tell people, don't do that. If Brian wants to earn money from this, let Brian do this, right? These are hypothetical names. Sophia does not have a son named Brian, right, Sophia? I don't think you do. Okay, so what I encourage you to do is build your front line. It's okay to have 14, 20 front lines. That's wonderful. You can have 50 front lines. There's no cap to that, right? From those front lines, you're going to identify, because you're having conversations with them. And when you brought them in, they told you what they wanted. I had this one lady tell me, I need to try the product first. So right now, for the first 2 months, let me try it out. Then we can talk business. And I said, okay, so you want to try the product first. I'm not going to focus on you. I'm going to keep in touch with you. You're under my diffusion list for something else. I need to move on and find people who want to do the business now. And that's how you keep prospecting. So if I was new here, I would focus on my front line, right? And I'm listening to what people are saying. Hey, yeah, I want to do the business. Okay, let's do like whatever your team does, right? We do like something called empresariales. Basically, I'll do a meet and greet, and I talk about goals, and I'll talk about like our company, and then ask them like, what is your goal here? And then we'll go from there, right? I have a whole pretty little thing we do so I can identify the leader, right? And depending on how much time they're willing to put and what their goal is, then I know, okay, this person is ready, so let's run with them. Okay. And then I help them give presentations. I help them learn how to talk about the product, about the business. I actually give presentations for them to either a group of people, whether it be product or whether it be business. And that's how they build their downline. Okay. And that's how I have a second level. The beauty about this business and the way this compensation plan works, the beauty of it is, in order for you to be successful, you need to help the people you bring in. Like, there's no other way. you need to help them, right? They need to earn money so you can earn money. And some people will say, oh, but that means that the person on top of me is always going to be earning more money than me. No. Like I said, go to the comp plan and study the structure of it. If I bring in Helena, and Helena built a sturdy and more, I guess, a better structure than I do, Helena can out earn me in like 2 seconds. And guess what? It happens a lot. And that's good. You build a better structure. You're working harder than I am, so you earn more. Will I still earn something? Yeah, I'll earn something, but not as much as you. So you can easily out earn me, right? Which is great. I like that. I think it's pretty thought. So in order for you to grow, you need to help the people below you. You cannot sabotage them. You would sabotage yourself. People who do that, I think, are just not thinking right. Okay, since the front lines only give me a 2%, wouldn't it be better to grow the second level that gives you a 12%? The second level gives you 25% on the first 100 points. Okay? So, the reason why, okay, yes, I want to grow my second level, but I'm not going to grow it for the people below me. Like, in my front lines, I'm going to teach them how to grow. Okay? I'm going to teach them how to grow. Because if not, I'm going to be a slave to them. I had this one lady that I loved so much. And I learned my lesson about becoming a slave to my downlines, right? Because the whole point of this is to become free. And I had this lady and I told her, hey, I've been there. Stop doing everything for them. You can't always give all their presentations. They've been here for a year now. You can't help them place their loyalty orders or, let them grow. Let them pick up the phone and call the corporation, blah, blah, blah. No. She became a diamond elite. Fantastic woman, very professional. She burned out. She burned out so fast that she just decided to quit cold turkey and drop everything. And I was like, I had a feeling that would happen because what she was doing was not sustainable. But once you start to build for other people, you become a slave to them. From personal experience, okay? So try to always help and help them grow, but don't do the work for them. That's not the point of this business, okay? So if I want to grow my second level, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be making sure I contact all my front lines and be like, okay, who wants to work? Who wants to work? Well, if none of them want to work, I need to go find more people. Which is, I think, where people kind of get stuck. Well, it's because I can't find a leader. Like, I get you. Sometimes some people it takes longer. Other people it takes less time. But you will find people. And it'll be the people you don't even know exist right now. When I first started this, someone told me the people you start off with, Cindy, are not the people that you will carry on with. And I've never heard truer words. My team right now is so drastically different. I have consumers that have been with me from the beginning, but my team, my hardcore team that are running with me are people that I did not know years ago. They were complete strangers, which is really cool, in my opinion. I hope that answered your question, Marissa. Okay? Yeah. And the best part, y'all, is make sure never forget your 3 levels, right? Your 3 levels, your level 1, 2, 3. Always keep them, depending on your rank. If you're diamond, 3,000 points. If you're diamond elite, 5,000 points. The least, like I would work on all the way to 10,000 points and have that secure. 20,000 would be ideal because at 20,000 points, you can become bronze or you can be a platinum and it's still 20,000 points, or platinum elite and it's still 20,000 points, okay? If you miss out on the amount of points there, you can miss out on your paycheck, okay? That is really matters. So never ever forget your first 3 levels. But when those are looking secure, make sure you're building down as well. That sounds complicated, more complicated than it is. Focus on your 3 levels right now. And when it'll go down on itself, okay? It'll go down to your lower legs, okay? And that's where the deep money comes. The whole platinum money and all that good stuff comes from everything at the bottom. Yes, Helena.
So it's very important that every month you keep track of your structure, right? To be sure where you're missing the points, where you have to, and there is one also, I think I find a lot, if you could clarify the percentage pain and each level is always after 100 points, or it's like third, fourth, whatever is will be the whole percentage, and it's always after the 100 points.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. So I don't know how many of you have studied the comp plan, and I know that's something people don't like to do because it's a lot of numbers. So just have it on replay, play it once a week until you get the point. I had the privilege of listening to it live from the person who created it, who was Ross Terry. I don't know how many of you were here when Ross Terry was here, but he was great. He has a YouTube video about it actually. Maybe I'll put it in the chat later, but it's really interesting. So each level is very different. So the front line, and I'm going to get really technical, you get 2% from the first 100 points and then 2% from everything after the 100 points. Second level, you get 25% from the first 100 points, and I believe 5% from the X's of 100 points. Third level is 5%, I think 5 and 5. And your fourth level down is 12%, just straight up from everything they consume. Okay, go visit the comp plan. You don't have to understand this right now. Go watch the video like 20,000 times. I'm just kidding. But understand the video, okay? In fact, I'll look for it and put it in there. Because y'all, like, really, like, I know this is really technical stuff. And I used to hate it when people used to give these trainings. So I thought they were so boring. And I thought they were so complicated. But honestly, it's just like putting names in like bubbles. And like the work is, let me learn how to market this enough to like bring people into that little bubble. Okay, that makes sense. I've been seeing these bubbles since I was a little girl, thanks to my mom. So yeah. Okay, any other questions about the comp plan? Let's see. Please send the link to the video. Yes, yes. In fact, you know what? Or is in the book. I ordered a packet of books. I didn't see it in here. And since Ross Terry is no longer here, he became actually, I think he became the CEO of another network marketing company. That man was smart. He's a good guy. But he got a great opportunity. He couldn't let go. So good for him. Actually, he's very smart. And I didn't see it here, to be really honest. I only saw other videos. But let me write this down. Add Ross Terry's video on the comment. I always write things down, y'all, because I will forget. Okay, got it. I'll have that up for you, Rita. All right.
I'm going to stop the recording so people get excited about talking. Sometimes because it's recording, and they might be excited to ask questions. Okay, and then